Being lazy, I'm actually a workaholic. All I do is work. So literally for myself most of the time, for Rick part of the time, but I pretty much work.
From a high school dropout to a millionaire, Chumlee's transformation is nothing short of shocking. At 21, he was earning minimum wage behind the counter of a pawn shop. Today, he's built a $5 million empire through smart merchandising, business ventures, and strategic brand building, earning more from fans than his TV salary ever did. How did he pull it off? And why did so many people never see it coming? Join us as we break down how Chumlee became one of the richest stars on Pawn Stars. From comic relief to cash king. At first glance, Austin Chumlee Russell was the last person anyone would have predicted would become rich and famous. Inside the gold and silver pawn shop, he wasn't the expert or the boss, and definitely wasn't the serious businessman. From the very beginning, Chumlee was the joke, the laid-back guy everyone teased, the one who made mistakes, cracked random comments, and didn't seem built for big success. But long before Pawn Stars made him a household name, Chumlee was just a childhood friend of Corey Big Hoss Harrison, growing up in Las Vegas. Their friendship is what got him through the door. At 21, he started working at the pawn shop in 2003, 5 years before the show existed. He worked behind the counter as just a regular employee, learning as he went. His nickname, Chumlee, actually came when he was just 12 years old. It was a reference to a walrus character from the old cartoon Tennessee Tuxedo, a playful jab at his big face. The name stuck and eventually became a brand worth millions. Even before fame, his personality was the same: relaxed, funny, sometimes sarcastic, never too serious. When Pawn Stars premiered in 2009, that natural humor made him stand out. What started as comic relief quickly turned him into a fan favorite. The guy everyone underestimated became one of the show's biggest breakout stars. But how did he achieve so much success? The merchandising mastermind. Things began to change for Chumlee when he launched his own company to handle his public appearances and to serve as a retail outlet for novelty items and his custom t-shirts. That simple business decision became the foundation of Chumlee's wealth-building strategy. He recognized that his television persona had monetary value independent of his pawn shop employment, and created the means to capture that value. The merchandise company began with basic offerings: t-shirts featuring Chumlee's face, catchphrases, or references to his role on Pawn Stars. But unlike celebrity merchandise ventures that rely on third-party licensing deals in which the celebrity received small royalty percentages, Chumlee maintained total ownership and control. He wasn't just licensing his image to shirt manufacturers, he owned the company that manufactured and sold the shirts, keeping all the profits rather than small percentages. The company has done so well that it subsequently sold part of it to the gold and silver pawn shop in order to handle distribution. This strategic move solved Chumlee's biggest business challenge: distribution and retail access. The gold and silver pawn shop became a tourist destination after Pawn Stars premiered, with daily visitor counts increasing from 70 to 700 after the show debuted and reaching 3,000 to 5,000 visitors daily by early 2012. Every tourist who visited the pawn shop was a potential customer for Chumlee merchandise. By selling partial ownership to the Harrisons, Chumlee ensured his merchandise occupied prime retail space in a store that processed thousands of potential customers daily. Customers who came specifically because they loved Pawn Stars and wanted souvenirs from the experience. The sale also injected capital into Chumlee's business. In 2010, he sold half his stake to Rick Harrison for $155,000. This wasn't just selling t-shirts. It was creating a complete merchandising ecosystem. Branded t-shirts, bobbleheads, and collectibles are sold at the gold and silver pawn shop and online, diversifying product offerings beyond apparel into collectibles that command higher prices and profit margins. Bobbleheads featuring Chumlee's distinctive appearance capitalized on his physical comedy and recognizability. Keychains, magnets, and other small souvenirs provided low-priced impulse purchases that added up through volume. The merchandising revenue proved substantial enough that it became a significant component of Chumlee's overall wealth. His merchandise sales beat all other Pawn Stars cast members, demonstrating that while Rick Harrison might own the shop and command higher per-episode fees, Chumlee connected with fans in ways that translated to superior merchandise demand. The merchandising success wasn't accidental. It reflected deliberate strategy about product development, pricing, and brand positioning. Chumlee's merchandise occupied a sweet spot between premium collectibles and affordable impulse purchases. T-shirts priced at $20 to $30 appealed to casual fans, while limited edition bobbleheads and signed items commanded higher prices from serious collectors. This tiered pricing strategy maximized total revenue by capturing both mass market and collector segments. Chumlee also understood the importance of product refresh cycles. New T-shirt designs, seasonal items, and limited edition releases kept merchandise feeling current rather than stale. Collectors who already owned basic Chumlee items had reasons to make repeat purchases when new products launched. This ongoing revenue stream differed from one-time book sales or appearance fees that generated income spikes but no recurring revenue. The online sales component proved equally important. While the pawn shop provided physical retail space with built-in foot traffic, online sales captured fans worldwide who would never visit Las Vegas. E-commerce eliminated geographic limitations, allowing anyone with internet access to purchase Chumlee merchandise. The combination of physical retail at the pawn shop and online distribution created comprehensive market coverage that maximized sales potential. Why did Chumlee's merchandise outsell everyone else's? Several factors converged. First, his character as the bumbling, lovable sidekick made him more relatable than the serious business owners, Rick and Corey. Fans didn't aspire to be Rick Harrison. They identified with Chumlee's everyman persona. Second, his distinctive appearance, the large frame, distinctive facial features, and casual style made him instantly recognizable and well-suited to caricature on merchandise. Third, his role as comic relief made merchandise purchases feel fun rather than serious, encouraging impulse buying. Chumlee also makes money through personal appearances, earning over $1,000 per event at autograph signings, pop-ups, or conventions. Convention appearances became a lucrative side business where Chumlee could charge appearance fees plus sell merchandise directly to hardcore fans willing to pay premium prices for signed items. Unlike Rick Harrison, who could command higher appearance fees but had limited time given his shop management responsibilities, Chumlee could dedicate more time to the convention circuit without jeopardizing his pawn shop employment. The merchandising empire also benefited from timing. Chumlee established his company and distribution deal during Pawn Stars' peak popularity years when the show consistently ranked as History Channel's most watched program. Pawn Stars is by far the #1 most popular show on the History Channel, with History renewing the series in batches of 80 episodes, demonstrating unprecedented success for a reality series. Launching merchandise during peak popularity meant maximum demand and brand recognition. But merchandising alone doesn't explain how Chumlee reached $5 million. Television salary plus merchandise revenue created wealth, but sustaining and growing that wealth required additional ventures and smart financial management. What other businesses did Chumlee launch using his Pawn Stars platform? Chumlee's Candy and the entrepreneurial expansion. In May 2017, Chumlee opened Chumlee's Candy on the Boulevard in Las Vegas, just across the street from the gold and silver pawn shop. The candy store represented Chumlee's recognition that Pawn Stars had transformed the area around the pawn shop into a tourist destination where complementary businesses could thrive by capturing overflow traffic. The location wasn't coincidental. Placing the candy shop directly across from the pawn shop meant every tourist visiting Gold and Silver saw Chumlee's business. Thousands of daily visitors represented potential customers who walked past Chumlee's storefront. The synergy was obvious. Fans come to visit the pawn shop, spend time browsing and maybe purchasing items, then notice Chumlee's candy shop and decide to extend their experience by visiting another Pawn Stars-related location. According to his Instagram page, Chumlee's Candy sells nostalgic, novelty, and bulk candy, a variety of sodas, along with unique keychains, coffee, and bobbleheads. The product mix demonstrates strategic thinking beyond just selling candy. Nostalgic candy appeals to adult Pawn Stars viewers who remember childhood treats, while novelty items attract younger visitors and souvenir seekers. The inclusion of keychains and bobbleheads suggests Chumlee integrated his merchandise operation into the candy shop, creating a dual-purpose retail location. The candy shop is frequently visited by fans of Pawn Stars, and earnings are likely in the six-figure range annually due to tourist traffic. Six-figure annual revenue from a single retail location might seem modest compared to television earnings, but it represents passive income that continues regardless of whether Pawn Stars remains on air. The shop doesn't require Chumlee's daily presence. He can hire staff to manage operations while he films the show or attends conventions. Chumlee's Candy also solved a problem Rick Harrison faced: how to monetize the massive tourist traffic without diluting the pawn shop's core business. The pawn shop must balance being a functioning business that serves local customers with being a tourist attraction that welcomes gawkers. Chumlee's Candy Shop captured tourist dollars without interfering with pawn shop operations, creating a win-win where tourists had another destination and Chumlee generated additional revenue. The candy shop business model also demonstrated Chumlee's understanding of brand extension. He wasn't trying to open another pawn shop or compete with Rick. He created a complementary business that leveraged his brand while serving a different market need. Tourists don't necessarily want to pawn items, but they do want snacks, souvenirs, and experiences. The candy shop provided all three. Beyond the candy shop, Chumlee has invested in real estate, including selling his Las Vegas property for $1.38 million in February 2019, proving his wealth building extended beyond business ventures into traditional wealth preservation through property ownership. Real estate investment represents smart financial management, using television earnings to purchase appreciating assets that build equity over time, rather than spending everything on depreciating luxury goods. The business expansion strategy reveals Chumlee's long-term thinking. He recognized early that Pawn Stars wouldn't last forever, and that television fame has an expiration date. His strategy to spread income includes television contracts and growing business interests, ensuring multiple revenue streams that don't all depend on remaining employed at the pawn shop or Pawn Stars continuing production. What differentiates successful reality TV stars from those who burn through their earnings is this exact kind of strategic thinking. Chumlee understood he was building a brand, not just earning a paycheck. He invested in businesses, real estate, and infrastructure that would outlast his television fame, creating sustainable wealth rather than temporary income. But did Chumlee actually possess the business acumen to execute these strategies? Or was he following advice from financial advisors? The hidden expertise. Though he plays the village idiot on the show, Chumlee actually demonstrates niche expertise in vintage pinball machines, sneakers, toys, and video games, areas he occasionally appraises with surprising knowledge. This disconnect between his televised persona and actual expertise represents one of entertainment's most successful character performances. Chumlee allows himself to be the butt of jokes while possessing genuine skills the show deliberately downplays for comedic effect. Chumlee has several talents, and he puts them all to very good use, making money from appearing on the show and on side deals where he usually makes a decent profit. He has several collections of his own, including vintage pinball machines and shoes, demonstrating not just casual interest, but serious collecting that requires knowledge, research, and market understanding. His skill at appraising unique items, especially vintage toys and pinball machines, brings significant value to his professional work. When Pawn Stars features pinball machines, vintage video games, or collectible toys, Chumlee often provides expert commentary that reveals the depth of knowledge viewers don't expect from the comic relief character. This expertise isn't scripted or fake. It comes from years of genuine collecting and self-education in these niche markets. The shoe collection demonstrates Chumlee's wealth in tangible form. He owns over 200 pairs of high-end sneakers, representing not just personal indulgence, but investment in appreciating collectibles. The sneaker resale market has exploded in value over the past decade, with rare sneakers appreciating faster than many traditional investments. Chumlee's collection likely contains shoes purchased years ago that have multiplied in value. Chumlee is definitely a collector, and he just happens to have impeccable taste and an eye for value in the vehicles that he adds to his personal collection. He once wheeled and cut an exceptional deal for a Maserati. The car was valued at $100,000, but he talked the dealer into giving it to him for a mere $85,000. This anecdote reveals negotiation skills and market knowledge that contradict his bumbling television persona. The Maserati purchase demonstrates understanding of luxury car depreciation curves and dealer negotiation psychology. New luxury cars lose significant value immediately upon leaving the dealership, creating opportunities for savvy buyers to acquire them at substantial discounts. Talking a dealer down $15,000 requires research, patience, and willingness to walk away, skills Chumlee clearly possesses despite playing dumb on television. Fans and Reddit commentators argue Chumlee may be undervalued. Although he plays the village idiot on the show, he's actually a pretty smart, savvy business person. I wouldn't be surprised if that was an underestimation of what he's worth. This observation gets at something important. Chumlee's $5 million net worth might be conservative. Private business valuations, real estate holdings, and collectible assets don't always appear in public net worth estimates. The hidden expertise also explains how Chumlee maintained employment at the pawn shop for over 2 decades. Chumlee began working at Gold and Silver when he was 21 years old, and he's still employed as of 2025. Rick Harrison wouldn't keep paying someone for that long unless they provided genuine value beyond comic relief for television cameras. Chumlee works behind the counter of the pawn shop and is known for his comic foibles, but what he lacks in customer relations savvy, he makes up for in his encyclopedic knowledge of video games and toys. The show portrays him as lacking negotiation skills, but this characterization serves narrative purposes, creating conflict when Chumlee sides with customers or pays too much for items. The reality is probably more nuanced, with Chumlee possessing expertise in specific categories that make him valuable for those specialized transactions. The disconnect between a televised persona and actual business acumen raises questions about the authenticity of reality television. How much of Chumlee's bumbling is real versus performed? How much of his expertise is hidden to preserve comedic narratives? The truth probably lies somewhere in the middle. Chumlee legitimately makes mistakes and provides comic moments, but he's also significantly sharper than the show suggests, and his $5 million net worth proves he understands business, branding, and wealth building far better than most reality TV personalities. But did legal troubles and personal challenges threaten to derail Chumlee's financial success? Surviving scandals. In March 2016, Chumlee faced his greatest crisis when law enforcement raided his Las Vegas home during a sexual assault investigation, ultimately leading to charges unrelated to that investigation, but still potentially career-ending. The incident threatened everything Chumlee had built: his reputation, his employment, his business ventures, and his public image as the lovable goofball. Chumlee did not serve jail time, but received probation and counseling following the 2016 legal case. The legal resolution allowed him to avoid incarceration, which would have certainly ended his television career and damaged his businesses. Probation meant continued employment at the pawn shop and uninterrupted Pawn Stars filming, minimizing financial impact. The scandal could have destroyed Chumlee's merchandise business. Family-friendly brands don't want association with legal controversies. But several factors preserved his commercial viability. First, the charges weren't directly related to the initial investigation. Second, Chumlee accepted responsibility and completed his legal obligations without drama or denial. Third, he maintained a low profile during the legal process rather than generating additional negative publicity. Fourth, Pawn Stars and the Harrison family stood by him rather than cutting ties. The fact that Chumlee's businesses survived and even thrived after 2016 demonstrates the strength of the brand he'd built. Fans forgave the legal troubles, continued buying merchandise, and kept visiting his candy shop. The incident became a footnote rather than a defining scandal, suggesting either that Chumlee's fan base remained loyal or that time healed the reputational damage. Chumlee married Olivia Rademan in 2019 after being engaged for a short period. However, there have been rumors about their relationship status, as they have kept a low profile in recent years. The marriage represented personal stability after legal troubles, though the relationship's current status remains unclear based on limited public information. Personal health became another focus for Chumlee after the scandal. Chumlee is also known for his impressive weight loss journey. After undergoing gastric sleeve surgery, he lost over 160 pounds and embraced a much healthier lifestyle. The dramatic transformation demonstrated commitment to personal improvement and generated positive publicity that helped rehabilitate his public image. The weight loss also had practical business implications. A healthier Chumlee could work longer hours, attend more conventions, and maintain the energy needed to run multiple businesses while filming a demanding television show. The physical transformation also updated his appearance, keeping his brand fresh and demonstrating that even the lovable goofball character could evolve. Chumlee has maintained his $5 million net worth from 2023 to 2025, demonstrating financial stability despite no major growth. Despite the scandal, he also continues to appear on Pawn Stars, where he remains a fan favorite for his humor and personality. What do you think about Chumlee's rise to wealth? And if another cast member had faced legal trouble like Chumlee did, do you think Rick would have kept them on the show? Share your thoughts with us in the comment section. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more. Also, click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.